coming to you from Port Macquarie today, so a little bit of a different setting. We're going to be working on some calf strength and ankle mobility, and we're going to be starting in standing. So we're going to start with just a bit of a step back into a stretch. So standing up nice and tall, you're going to take 1 foot back, push that heel into the ground, push your hips forward and feel that stretch down the back of the leg. We're going to open that up by taking the arm towards the roof and reaching back, so it also becomes a bit of a stretch through the front of the quad and into the abdominals a little bit there. Stepping back together, take the opposite leg back, press the heel into the ground, pushing the hips forward to feel that stretch all the way up the back of the leg through the calf and starting to come through the front of the quad. Taking that hand up towards the roof and reaching back for your stretch. We're going to go through that a little bit faster now. So we're going to be stepping back, opening up into a sweep with our arm to get that stretch in a nice active movement. So stepping back, open up, step back together, opposite side, step back, open up. The further you step that leg back, the more of a stretch that you will get. So the further you push back, the more you will feel that stretch. We're just alternating left and then right, feeling that stretch through the back of the calf and the front of the hip. We'll go 1 more to each side. Stepping together now, we're going to change the stretch slightly and we'll be bending our back knee. So take the foot just back a little bit, squat down, feel that stretch down low in the calf, step back together. Squatting down, sit your weight back onto your back leg. You should feel that through the lower part into your Achilles tendon. Stepping back together. We're just alternating left and then right. Hold the stretch for as long as you feel comfortable. Make sure you're sitting that weight onto the back leg for that stretch. We're going to go 1 more to either side. So still with that idea of stepping back, but this time we're going to start activating through the calf. So we're going to take 1 leg back, straight leg here. You're going to be pushing through your toes to lift your heel, pushing your weight forward. So you can see that I'm not going directly up, but I feel like my shoulders are pushing forward towards my front leg and all of my weight is on the back leg there. We're going to go through these calf raises, feeling like you're trying to pull your weight up onto your toes. And it's going to the ball of your foot, not the outside of your foot as you do this. That front leg should be there just for balance. It's the back leg that's doing all of our work here. We're going to go through 10 more. That should be about 5. And last one. Oh, sorry, 5 more to go. Trying to keep that straight line from the top of the head through to the heel. And this is our last one here. Step back together. Take the opposite leg back, create that straight line from the heel all the way to the top of the head, and think about moving the shoulders forward instead of just up, so that that calf is pushing us. The weight should come onto the ball of the foot, so not rolling to the outside but coming over the big toe. And that leg in front should just be holding your balance. All of your weight should be on this back leg so that you're using that calf to push you forward. We have about 8 more. And last one here. Stepping back together. You're taking a smaller step back now. You're going to bend through the knee. We're going up on that back leg, so all of your weight is on that back leg. The front leg is just holding you for balance. And you're coming up onto your toe and back down. This time you are trying to go directly up. There should be no forward movement in this. And you should be able to keep the knee bent so you're not trying to push up like that. It is all just coming from the calf to take you up and down. You want to make sure it's not just your knee moving forward, but your whole body comes up and back down. We should have 5 more here. That front leg is just there for support. All of the weight should be on this back leg. 2 more. And swapping through. So that small step back, bending through the knee, all of the weight on that back leg, pushing up onto the toe and coming down. Remembering to keep that angle of the knee bend, and you're not pushing the knee forward, you're pushing the whole body up into the air and back down from the ankle. About 6 more. Remember, the weight is on the back leg. And this should be our last one here. Good. Whew. Hard work for our calves, so we're just going to get them to have a little bit of a rest by doing some roll throughs on our feet. I want you to think about your feet being 3 points: your heel, the outside pinky toe, and the inside big toe. We're going to be rolling in a circle around those 3 points. So starting with our weight on the heels, roll that weight forward to the outside of the pinky toe, roll that weight in to the ball of the foot, and then back to the heel. And we're just going to continue that roll through the foot. Start making the ankle work nice and hard. And then take that roll back the other way, so go from the heel to the ball of the foot to the pinky toe, around in a circle. So our next movement, we're going to be starting to utilize the arch of the foot. I want you to think that your feet in those 3 points are touching the ground directly. I want you to try and lift up your toes and feel how that holds the 3 points, but creates an arch through the inside of your foot. We're going to be going through squats now in that position. So you're holding those 3 points, nice and even weight through the foot onto the ground. You're going to sit down in your squat, push through those 3 points, and stand back up. What usually happens is as you go down into the squat, those 3 points change in where the weight sits. What we're trying to do is maintain pressure through all those 3 points as we sit down into our squat and push back out. Holding your toes up, we'll go through 10. Keeping those toes up, you should feel that your feet get quite fatigued and tired. Now what we want to do is hold the toes up, create the arch, relax the toes, but feel that you're keeping the arch in your foot and keeping those 3 points connected to the ground and going through the same squats again. Good. This time we're going to go into an advanced level. If you want to stay with your feet on the ground, that is perfectly fine. Otherwise, we're lifting the heels to be up onto our toes. Trying to feel our heels pulling together so we're fighting our weight, moving just to the outside pinky toe and keeping our weight over the big toe or the ball of our foot. And we're going through those squats again. Good. We're going to go through the same concept now, but through a lunge position. So I'm going to be doing them sideways here, but to just show you on front ways, knees should follow in line with your toes and in line with your hips, keeping those feet at hip width apart. Our front leg is going to be the leg doing all the work this time, so we want to make sure our weight is over that front leg as we do this. So our first one, front leg, pulling the toes up so you've created that arch on the toes at the back, and we're just going through our 10 lunges here. Thinking about where our weight sits on the ball of the foot. And last one, change through sides. So nice big step for our lunge position. Pulling up the toes so you create the arch and maintain those 3 points of pressure and going through our 10 lunges. Weight should be on the front leg, so we don't want the back leg doing the pushing here. It's all a big push through the front leg. We should be halfway. Focus on the balance of that front leg, keeping the 3 points of pressure. 2 more. Back to our original leg, keeping the toe down but trying to maintain that arch through the foot. We've got our 10 lunges. Swapping through sides, making sure your big toe is holding a lot of the weight, but you've maintained your arch through your foot and going through those 10 lunges. Two more. final progression here will be on the toe at the front. So if you need to, coming off the mat will make this a little bit easier for your balance. So I might just use that mat for now. So coming up onto the ball of the foot for both feet and coming through our 10 lunges, maintaining that position, feeling the arch of the foot work, especially on the front leg, as where that is most of our weight should be. Trying to sit the heel directly down towards the heel at the back. Should have 2 more. And swapping sides. Coming up onto the balls of your feet, maintaining that position, maintaining the pressure on the ball of the foot into our 10 lunges. And relaxing. We're going to stretch out our calves. So standing at the edge of your mat at the back, we're going to roll all the way down, bringing our hands to the ground and walking out into a down dog position. And then we're going to be doing some ankling through our calves so that we can feel the stretch up the back of the calf. And then you're just swapping there for which calf is receiving that stretch, trying to keep the bottom up nice and high. Trying to push that heel all the way down into the ground with that straight knee. Just for a really nice deep stretch in the calf now. Bring your knees to the ground. Keep your toes tucked under. We're going to do a stretch through the arch of the foot. So sit back onto your heels and feel the stretch through the soles or the arches of your feet. You're going to lean forward, point the toes. Leaning back, you should feel that stretch coming through the front of the shins. Even if you need to lean back a little bit into that stretch. Leaning forward, swap through. And we're just going to keep going from toes tucked under. Stretch the arch, toes pointed away, stretch the shin. Into a 4-point kneel position. In our 4-point kneel position, we're just going to start with a normal bird dog. So bird dog is where we are holding our tabletop position and moving away with an opposite arm, opposite leg. You're trying to stretch those towards the edges of the rooms, reaching out for length, not for height. You want to maintain your spinal position. So have a think about trying to keep your chest open at the top, your rib cage dipped in to turn on your lower abdominals. Thinking about keeping a small curve in your lumbar spine by having the tailbone nice and flat, pointing towards the wall behind you. Bracing your abdominals by taking a breath out and drawing your belly button in before you move, so that you can stay nice and strong as the arm and leg moves away. You should feel that activate through your shoulder, but also across your abdominals to hold you nice and still. And we're going to sit back into a child pose position and just have a rest before we move into a slightly harder abdominal exercise here. So our next variation, we will be staying in our 4-point kneel position. You'll take one leg back as we were in our bird dog, but then you're going to pull the toe and plant the foot. Turn your abdominals on by drawing your belly button in, bracing yourself, hold your position and take your opposite leg out. Bring that same leg back in and back into your 4-point kneel. Taking yourself the opposite way, stretch the leg out and plant the toe, brace your position and take your opposite leg out, bring that in and come back in. We want to keep alternating with those, and you can hold that push-up position for as long as you feel comfortable. So if you want to hold that for 2 or 3 breath cycles before you bring it in, that's obviously more fatiguing for your abdominals to hold the plank. We're going to continue with that. So stretch the foot, brace, and follow through. And when you feel ready, coming back in and alternating sides. If you feel yourself getting tired, feel free to have a rest in your child pose position, just to take some weight off the wrists as well. When you finish in your plank position, you should have, from head to heel, should be a nice straight line. So the hips don't move too high, they stay centered as if they were stuck in the position of your 4-point kneel. We've got one more to either side. We're going to take a rest. Take this load off your arms, sit in your child pose position. Feel like your fingertips are walking away from you, so you can feel that stretch down the arms after they've just had to hold your body weight up for quite some time. And we'll be moving onto our back. So coming round to meet on our back. We're going to start just by opening and shutting your lower back. So you're thinking about tucking your tailbone and pressing that to the ground, and you should feel that switch on your abdominals. And then rocking that back the other way to open a large gap here through your back that you could fit your arm under. Just getting some movement through our back after we were just trying to hold it nice and still. Take the arms out wide, keep the feet and the knees together, and this time take the knees across the body from one side to the other. So we're getting some rotation now through our lower back as well, just to stretch that out. yourself back into crook lying, so heels are in line with your bottom and your knees are bent. We want to bring those feet as close into your bottom as you can. We're going to then be coming up onto your toes. Thinking about how we were in standing, trying to bring the ball of the foot to hold weight evenly with the pinky toe. You're then going to push up into the top of your bridge. Holding that position, we're going to then relax the heels, push up. We're just moving through those calf raises now in our bridge position. If you want less support, to make the movement a little bit harder, take the hands towards the roof. Otherwise, they can stay here on the ground to help you support that neutral spine position. This should feel active through your bottom, but you should feel mostly fatigued around the calves, coming in and out. You also may feel the muscles through the front of the thighs, the quads, working nice and hard to hold you there. And relax. Take one leg to be straight. Take the other knee up towards your chest, hold behind, pull the toe and take that leg into the air nice and straight. You should feel that down through the calf and the hamstring for just a nice stretch. Make sure you keep pulling the toe so that that stretch goes into the calf. Letting that leg relax. Bringing the other knee up towards your chest. Remember to pull the toe first and then take that into the air so you feel that stretch through the calf and into the hamstring. Don't let go of that pull of the toe. Keep trying to draw it down towards the shin. And relax. We're going to come through a similar bridge movement, but we're going to move in and out of a glute bridge and a hamstring bridge with the addition of our calf raise. So coming up onto your toes with those feet as close to your bottom as you can. You're coming to the top of your bridge with your toes on the ground. You're going to step a leg out so that your heel is on the ground. The further you step away from the body, the harder that will be. So if you want to make it a bit easier, just only step to here. We're going to be stepping from toes to heels for both sides, coming back, toes. Move away with the opposite leg to heels and coming back. Always starting with the alternate leg each time you move to go back out to your heels. So toes to heels. What you should feel change is where it activates around your quads and your thighs and your glutes. So here you should feel glutes and quads. And out here we should start to feel the hamstrings and the back of the legs work much harder. You're just going to keep alternating there. Remember, if you don't want it to be too hard, just don't step out as far with your heel. And coming down to relax. Bring both knees to your chest, open up your lower back. Hold behind your knees and you're going to alternate kicking one leg straight to feel your hamstring stretch and then the other. If you want to add in the calf, you can pull both your toes and kick one then the other. And relaxing. hope you've enjoyed today's class all the way from Port Macquarie today. And reminder that we have classes happening in person of a Monday morning, and you can click the Book Now link if you want to join us with those classes.